First of all, I wanted to say massive thank you for all of you guys supporting this channel. I managed to get to 500 subscribers in less than 3 months. So it's amazing. I mean, the channel is on fire. I feel like I'm doing something I really love. I'm getting better. And I feel like I also get to know you guys more. I think I understand you more. And I have so much to talk about, right? But as a thank you, I'm going to talk about one of the most painful topics in my business professional life over the last few years. And that's my bankruptcy, professional bankruptcy. Exactly 12 months ago, 1 year ago in January, I was forced to pull a plug on my baby business. The one I was building for a year, the one which cost me most, over 1.2 million pounds, our own money. There was no investors' money involved, which probably is better, but it was personal, very personal. So let me tell you what happened quickly, and I'll give you 5 lessons I took from this L, right? A massive L. But over time, 1 year later, I'm grateful. I am standing here in front of you guys, 500 subscribers. I'm going to tell you why and how it changed my life. So let me sit down here because I specifically choose this place for a particular reason. I'll tell you in a second. Right. Oh, let me just take my phone out. I've got a couple of notes. So I'll tell you quickly what happened. In 2023, I started building clinics and a medical laboratory in central London. It was beautiful, beautiful place, clinics and a lab. It cost us tons of time, energy and money. And it took us 12 months to go bankrupt, basically, at least one part of the business. I ran out of our own money before we became profitable enough to sustain a business, right? So, I had all the plans, all the ideas of how to run this business and how it should be and how it's going to be my exit, 10, 20 million pounds exit business. And unfortunately, it didn't go this way, right? But with this said, the big failure turns out to be my big breakthrough in life. It's something which I'm very grateful for right now, although it did not feel the moment I had to pull the plug and let people go, tell them they lost jobs in January 2024. You can imagine it's not a very nice thing to do, but it had to be done. So the lessons. I want to start with the first lesson. And I want to tell you something. When you hear bankruptcy, most of us think it's the end of the world, right? It's like, oh my God. And that's how I felt about this. But the lesson number 1 is it's not actually as bad as you think. And it's like with all the pains in life goes and all the things we try to avoid. And I do that all the time. I'm not perfect. Once you do it, once you embrace it, it actually turns out to be a much less painful. And it's like, oh, is that it? Now, the bankruptcy is nothing pleasant. Okay, it's hard mentally. It's hard, money-wise. I don't recommend it. But if you're aiming very high, if you're not pushing yourself high enough, then I don't know. I mean, the bankruptcy it's going to have to happen. I think at some point. I mean, there is a statistic saying I think the average, the most successful millionaires they go bankrupt like 2 or 3 times. So again, I'm not recommending it, but if you're pushing yourself hard, if you're really aiming high, and if you're really ambitious as I am, then it will have to happen this way, one or another, right? Well, at some point. And the thing is about it's not as bad as you think. I think mainly because I was doing everything always completely legal. I was not trying to bankrupt the business to get some money out of the business. There are lots of businesses doing it for nefarious reasons, and I wasn't. I was generally having misfortunes, business misfortunes, which led us to the collapse. And I even decided to, when I knew that things are going really bad, before bankruptcy, I even stopped taking myself a salary in the business. I was working for a few months with no salary, trying to save the business, and it didn't happen. So as long as you do everything legally, with a good heart, a good intention, and things go wrong, then you have nothing to worry about. Mistakes happen, whatever that is. You can just get on with it, deal with it, and then just stand back up again and go again. And the experience of bankruptcy and the business is the one which will pay off many, many times in your future career and future business. Now, that's lesson one. Lesson number two, you see, I call it here, it's better to slow down after your big win rather than chasing another gold. And what I mean by this is we've opened that lab because we were very successful. We had very successful few years prior to that. So we made a bunch of money in our other businesses. And, you know, like once it starts going, you build momentum, winning momentum, then it keeps going and on and on. And it was me at least. In my head, I was thinking, that's it, I'm unstoppable. I understood the business. Now I can do anything and it's going to be successful. And that was my mistake. I should have stopped. I should have paused, stepped back and take some time, right? After 2-3 wins, big wins, making lots of money, rather than just going bigger project and a bigger and bigger, and then just keep thinking it's forever. I should have paused, stopped and take a step back, rethink what I really want to do in life, and then invest that money again after some time, after the break. You know, I made a mistake. There's a few of us business partners where, and although I did not feel 100% in my heart that I want to go with this lab and clinics, and that's going to be my next point, but I still did because I was foolish enough thinking that I'm indestructible, and that was not the case. So that goes to the third point, and the third lesson for me was don't build something you're not passionate about. Now, the advice you hear on the internet, build your dreams and build your business around your dreams or your passions is not exactly the good advice. I think business and passion not necessarily have to go hand in hand. However, if you succeeded in business at 1, 2, 3 times, if you've made some money already, if you got something there, you don't have to keep building a business for the sake of money, because of cash flows, and you have money. That's the point, I believe, where you should start focusing on passion in business rather than just business for the sake of money. As I said to you before, previous point, I've had many, like 3-4 big wins when we accumulated quite lots of money, and I was just carrying it on. If I've stopped there and I rather focus on something I want to do, or even try to figure out what I really want to do, which I now know is exactly this, I want to run this YouTube channel, I could probably save myself tons of time, energy, and money. I haven't, because I was blinded to the potential of failing, and I thought I'm going to build these amazing clinics, which will then eventually become my exit, retirement fund, so to say, right? 10 million pounds, that was my kind of thinking. So right now, I know I would rather focus on, if you got a few wins at the beginning, as a different story. Your first business, focus on profitability, cash flows, make money first. But when you've made some money, then it's good to step back and rethink and find out what you really want to do, the passion, and then build around the business around this, because that's how, building a business is very hard. It's hard on you mentally, physically. And then when you succeed, you can actually stop being hard on yourself or harsh on yourself and actually focus on building a business which is more a passion, which will give you more pleasure, which, like, again, this thing for me, camera, recording videos on, for the YouTube is, I can't sleep at night because I'm thinking about ideas to record at places and things to do, right? So when you succeed 1 or twice, then I would imagine you should probably start thinking about your passion and try to build a business around it. And the fifth one, and this is the biggest one, and this is why I'm here, is don't be scared of losing. Like I said, bankruptcy sounds very scary. And again, I do not recommend it. Try to avoid it. But if you ask me, would you rather try it again and knowing I fail, or not to try, I would definitely try and fail again and again. Because once, like I say, it's not as scary as you think, but you see, the life we're living, the businesses we do, there are reasons for it, right? It's not just money. And this is something I understood many years as an entrepreneur. It's like we have to live our lives. This is the once in a lifetime, right? It's our one life, which we have to live to our best, to have a journey, something we can be talking about this. Like I recorded another video when I say you should treat your life as a biography you're constantly writing for somebody to read when you are gone, be it your family or kids. They're going to read it. And they'll be like, oh, that was so crazy life, interesting life, right? Because we will go at some point, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe many years from now, hopefully. But we shouldn't be focusing on fear. I think fear of losing is one of the biggest fears preventing people from living to the fullest of their lives. And I tested it on myself many times, including the bankruptcy. It's not as bad. It's nothing to fear. It's nothing to fear. Once you get through it, it's fine. You will figure out. And then, of course, you can find, circle of proper friends around, by the way, you're more than welcome to join my community on X, which with like-minded people, because that's what we're here for. That's what we all go through this stuff, and you really realize it's not as scary as we think. So the last point is extremely important. You see, where I am now, if I was afraid, living in fear in the business and not being really open to it, I would be still living in London, with my, having a miserable life, probably working 9 to 5. And because I took risks and I was afraid, but I did this, I'm now able to live like this, and it's just nice. It's because life is about living. It's not about having. So if you, for example, based in London and you don't like it, you should only do it on your initial phases of business where you start building a business, because that's where the action is. But eventually you should move out as soon as you can to a place where you want to be, because that's your life. That's the only life you have. And again, if not bankruptcy, who knows? Maybe I would be working in this business, which I did not actually like it. I did not want to be in that business. The only reason for me to be there was I was hoping it's going to pay me big money at some point, and the exit, right, when I'm going to sell it. But it didn't happen. So that's it, guys. This is a 5 really important life lessons for me I took from this bankruptcy. And again, if I had to do it again, I'll do it. But now I discovered my real passion and what I really want to do. Although I still do other things for money. I advise other businesses. I work with other businesses. But this is my main thing. And as I have a pledge, which I will make as profitable as my main source of income by the end of this year. And with you guys, with your support, 500 subscribers, I'm so grateful, because that means I'm on the right path, and I probably found my real calling, at least at this stage of my life. So again, I wanted to thank you so much for being with me all that time. There's much more coming. I can promise you that. You will not get disappointed. I'm getting better. I'm getting more, I don't know what to say, like I understand it. Understand the whole YouTube thing, you guys, what to talk about, how to talk, not to be the guru, and whatever nonsense, advice. So again, thank you so much for all that time with me, for your support. Next stop is 1,000 subscribers and monetizing this channel. It's going to happen very soon with your support. Thank you so much. If you like this video, if it resonates with you, please leave me a like. Consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks again for your support, for your time. I'll see you soon. Cheers.